You can get your programs over at the info booth over yonder if you're interested to see what's going on next. I'd like to talk to you though about supporting this festival because yes, this is a festival that you can get in by donation. You can get in if you don't have any money for free. You can enjoy the music free of charge. Just bring your lawn chair. There's no gates, there's no fences, there's no tickets, there's no $12 beers and $8 bottles of water, like some other festivals. But it does cost money. It costs lots of money to make this go on. The musicians get paid, the production people get paid, all of the things that make this happen require money to happen. Of course, we have our vendors who rent the park, rent space from us to sell their wares. But we need your help too. We need the support of our patrons in order to make this continue to happen. Your entrance fee goes to help make this continue, but if there's anything else you can contribute as well, it would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. If you want to make a larger donation and you would like a tax receipt, because yes, we are a registered nonprofit, you can go to the info booth over yonder and we'd be happy to make out a tax receipt for you. Also, there are the tip-tap pay machines. So if you're not carrying cash, you can also just tap your card on those things. They're very, very handy, very quick. You can very quickly donate $5, $10, $20, however much. And there's also an online form on our website that you can donate. So thank you very much for your contributions, and thank you as much for being here, because your presence is a present to us as well. How's everybody enjoying the show? Everybody having a good time? That's excellent. Glad to hear that. Fantastic. It is, well, it's our 50th year doing this, but it's not quite our 50th festival yet. But that's coming up. And I'd like to mention a cool thing that is, that's been, it was planned for our 50th year, but something got in the way. Not quite sure what that might have been, just, you know, we didn't have a festival for a couple of years for some weird reason. But there's this book, Crazy Beautiful People. It's a project by Dan Ebbs and Diane Morrow, and you can find Crazy Beautiful People over yonder in the north end of the park there. It is a retrospective of home county. All the festivals for the last 50 years, there's stories, there's pictures, there's all sorts of things about the things that have happened at this festival. All sorts of magic that's occurred at home county. People who've met people, the different musical synergies and whatnot. So if you want to learn more about the history of home county, go check out Crazy Beautiful People. Where's Darren? I'm going to hand this over to Darren, and he's going to introduce our next act.
Thank you very much, Eric. And so I just wanted to say a little bit about Aysanabee. I first met him and saw him at the Folk Music Ontario conference here in London back in October. And when he started to sing, I was just totally blown away. But I met him, he's also the nicest guy. So I don't know if you've ever seen his album cover or heard his album. So in the album, he has clips of conversations with his grandfather, and the album cover is a painting of his grandfather. And the person who painted that, her name is Montina Hussey, and she is actually a craft vendor here at Home County this year. So look around for her. I don't know exactly where her booth is, but you know, have a look out for her if you're back here tomorrow, especially. Wander around, check out the craft vendors. The craft vendors are the ones who put the art in Home County Music and Art Festival. So, but anyways, I digress. We're going to continue on with the music. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Aysanabee.
watch your words, take only the one you never run. Tell me to be loved, worry to bury ashes in the earth. Oh, your deeds, the speech and I stand. Demons are in the steps you did not stay. Oh, you watch your steps, take only the ones you will get. Tell me, don't run. I hurry to bury your hearts in the dirt. Oh, your deed is to be steps. Demons are in the steps you cannot stay. Am I losing myself? Trying to find you. Am I losing myself? Can't find you. 'Cause I'm losing myself. Can't find you. If there's one thing that I know, you can't get blood from it. Don't know how we can go. Can't carry this no more. I can't carry it. I can't hold no how we letting go. When I'm losing myself, trying to find you all. 'Cause I'm losing myself to find you all. Oh, I'm losing myself trying to find you. Oh, I'm losing myself. Find you.
Thank you.
It's my third time playing in London. Thank you so much for being here. This is the biggest crowd I've gotten played from. Yeah. I'm gonna play a song called Ocean Breath. And I wrote this song when I started getting a little bit stir crazy, when lockdown came in. You know, I'm a bit of an introvert, so when lockdown came in, I was like, this is gonna be nice. I'm gonna stay home, I'm gonna watch Netflix, I'm gonna relax. And then, time went on, and then I realized maybe I'm not an introvert after all. Maybe I miss people. Maybe I miss this. Maybe I miss community. so I picked the guitar, and I had a little bit of wine, and I wrote a song. I wrote it about this road trip I'd taken down the PCH highway. Sometimes I just do random things. I think when the airline swoop came out, it was like a round trip ticket from Hamilton to Abbotsford for like $70 or something like that. And so I was like, yeah, I bought it like 8 months in advance. And I was like, you know what, even if I don't go on this trip, it was like $70 and whatever. And then the 8 months went by, and I got the notification, you're ready for your trip. And then I asked my boss, I was at work, I was like, oh yeah, you can go on your trip. And so I went over there, and I didn't realize when I was booking it, it was the middle of winter, and I was ready for vacation. So without an itinerary, I just rented a car and I decided I'm going to drive to California and see what's going on. And so I had a friend in San Diego, and I called him and I said, what are you doing tomorrow? Can I come over? So I hopped in the car, and I remember seeing the PCH highway in so many films and so many movies. I thought it would be the most beautiful drive. And so I just took my time. And it's such a, for those who don't know the PCH highway, it kind of follows the ocean, follows the mountain. And so I was, if I see a nice beach, I would stop there and I'd swim. If I see a nice restaurant, I'd stop and I'd go check it out. So it was much different than what I was doing, walk down in a tiny Toronto apartment. And so this is a song I wrote with the memory of that and the wish to do it again.
Take me somewhere slow, where the sun don't go. Take me somewhere slow, where the earth go. Get my skin. Take me somewhere slow. comes easy. These are some memories, moving pictures of the past, of my past. And it's all I see when I go to sleep. When it plays on repeat, and I let it go, and I let it go. Too fast. It's times like these that you forget to count your blessings. Your blessings, your blessings, your blessings, your blessings. Your blessings, your blessings. Your blessings, your blessings, your blessings, your blessings, your blessings, your
thing they called the Canadian barbecue, and we went all the way to Portugal to try and get some international book, some festivals, some shows, and we ended up getting booked for festivals back in Canada. But I remember when we got to this place, I'm like, I recognize this room. I've been here before, and I was there. I think like 2 years earlier, I was supposed to meet a friend in Lisbon, and we were supposed to go down the Algarve, which is very similar to the PCH Highway. But I was in Paris the night before, and my friend thought she was going to get to Portland, so she wanted to do all the tourist things. And so we ended up at this everywhere. We did all the things, the catacombs, the tower, and finally we ended up at this rooftop club, and I ended up getting pickpocketed. So I got to Lisbon, and my friend was like, I'm so excited for this Algarve trip. And I was like, well, I don't have a driver's license, and neither do you, so we're kind of stuck in that. But he was like, fine. He's like, I've been here for 2 years, why don't I show you the Lisbon that I know? And we ended up at this song, except that that's the first time I played it. And I'm going to play it again for you. It's called Home.
Rolling up a mountain, does it feel like being crushed by the wave? If you hold it now, if you hold out, it will be no. We used to sing now, go home. Used to sing I go home is with the hard days. We must be ourselves. We can't go back, we can't go back, we can't go back. Home is with the hard days. You're my favorite part of it. We can't go back, we can't go back, we can't go back. Can't go back. If you hold on, it will be no. You should sing like you should sing like homes with the hardest, we must be ourselves. Can't go back, we can't go back, we can't go back. Homes with the hardest, you're having one day. Can't go back, we can't go back, we can't go back. Can't go back. Say I we must be heartless. Can't go back, can't go back, we can't go back.
This is a song I've been reintroducing back into my set in the last few months. I used to work up north. I used to work in the northern wilderness of Ontario there. And I did that for a long time. I worked from 12 to 18. I got a job in mining under the table. And to give us context to where we were, stay, if everyone knows what Thunder Bay is, if you drive north of there to Big Falls, it's about another 7 hours, and then if you drive these logging roads, till eventually you get to these ice roads in the winter, and you keep driving up those, and then we unload the truck, and then loaded up the skidoos, and we drove across all these lakes and portages, and that's where we set up camp. And we lived in these prospectors' tents, with like a wood stove, wood burners, and we worked there from January into March, so I was there for a long time. But halfway through that, I had this near-death experience. We all worked by ourselves, and so I was snowshoeing across this frozen river, and I broke through. And I managed to stop myself with an axe, and I pulled myself across, and the water, the ice kept breaking, the ice kept breaking. My sweatpants were filling up with water, and I thought that was the end of me. That was the end of my story. And I thought how lame it was that my story ended with a mining company. I don't even believe in mining. I was just poor and went out to do it to money. So I remember I was making a promise to myself that if I got out of here, I would do what I feel like I was meant to do, which is play music. And so I made it out of there and drive off and I snowshoed back again, and we finished the job, and 3 months later I went to Toronto to play music. And the last year and a half has been completely crazy with all the things we've been doing with music. And so that's why I've been bringing this song back, to remind myself of the promise that I made, and what music meant to me back then, and what it still means today. And so this is a song I wrote about that experience called Near to Death. Your worth is waiting more. Surely doesn't nourish the soul just to keep you warm at night. Shall it be regret? You tried to buy it back. All the ever tried to swallow me whole, but down to deep dark cold. All the ever tried to swallow me whole, but down to deep dark cold. I go out to a forest floor. These words were words. this song sometimes when I tell that story, and I usually tell a funny anecdote about working at the Huffington Post. But you know what? I started. I got out of the journalism maybe a year ago to do music full time again, and thank you. And I think I kind of unplugged from the news for a little bit. You know, I think just doing it 8 hours a day for almost 5 years got you a little. Gets you a little kind of desensitized sometimes. But this last couple of weeks, I've been reading the news again. And it has, this song, which, I wrote because, my mother, who's a proud Orgy Cree woman, she was found by a highway, she had been attacked. And she didn't tell me for months because I was working on a documentary that followed the children of this neighborhood of Indigenous women. And, I wrote this song. Yeah, I wrote this song. It was 4.5 years ago. And it's still kind of relevant, sadly. With reading what's going on in Winnipeg. And, I'm not sure if it's because I haven't been in the news for so long, but no longer desensitized and just some heavy stuff. And I feel like these politicians will always kind of say, use reconciliation, use all these things as buzzwords. And now here it is. Here's how you can help. Search that landfill. So this is a song I wrote for my mother, and she told me that she'd been attacked, and she didn't tell me because she didn't want to interrupt the important work I was doing, she said. And so I wrote this song for her, and it's called Singing. A little bit more human than you. So I feel like I need to stop talking as much and play more songs. One day I'm actually going to get through my set list. I'm pretty sure that's 45 minutes. But then I talk and then... Anyways, here's the song. It's called Singing.
broken. All these last days, oh my. I know as long as they're still breathing, in their heart they're still beating. And you just gotta stay, stay. Well, you just gotta stay. You just gotta stay, stay. Just gotta stay. You just gotta stay, stay. Just gotta stay, stay, stay. Just gotta stay, stay, stay. Just gotta stay, stay.
I gotta end it with a song from the album that we put out in November. It's an album based off the stories of my grandfather. And I spent a year interviewing him in 2020 when I was locked down in my apartment. And I didn't know when I was going to make a record out of it at the time. It was when the Christmas holidays came around and we still weren't allowed to visit, and I started listening back on these recordings. And I actually don't ever really play this one solo in acoustic. This was the first song off the album, the first thing I wrote for the album. It's a song called CC Bano. And CC Bano is the name of my grandfather's dad. And what struck me about it is I asked him what CC Bano meant, and he didn't know what his dad's name meant. It wasn't because he forgot. It's because he was taken away when he was a child.
Took me from your father with a face full of dollars, women in showers. I don't even know your name. Took me from your mother, took me from your sister, oh brother. I don't even know your name. Won't you tell me? 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 Is she in God's name? Won't you tell me? 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 Is she in God's name? Took me from my mother's pain, took me from my brother's pain. Oh Father, I don't even know my name. He took the words from my mouth, he put them in the ground, and I tried to eat them out, fading the sun. Won't you tell me, 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 she was there, the whole Father, if it comes to me, can you tell me what you see, can you tell me what you need, oh no, I recognize you. You tell me what you see, you tell me what you need. Oh, won't you tell me, 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 yes it goes there. Won't you tell me, 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 yes it goes English.